Blowjam Presents Podsmash is brought to you by Hotels.com. Shop with Hotels.com now to take advantage of their great hotel deals, as well as save $30 off select hotel stays of $250 or more when you go to usehotels.com/blow and enter code LISTEN30. Some terms apply. And this episode is brought to you by warbyparker.com. Get a free 5-day home try-on at warbyparkertrial.com/blow. 5 pairs, 5 days, 100% free. Hey buddies, it's Blowjam Presents Podsmash. I'm your host, Delia Blowjam, and with me is my co-host and lover, Ryan Blowjam.
Hey guys.
It's another week in the podcast universe. Lots of good stuff going on, lots of news. We got some cool segments for you. First, we want to tell you a couple funny stories. So we went to Fitzy's the other night, which is a dive bar in Binghamton, and we met an interesting character.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Scott E. Cleary.
Yeah, that guy was weird. I definitely felt some weird energy off him when I sat next to him, but it turns out he was tripping on acid, and you could really tell, like...
You get that vibe, though.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. And he said he invented the safety pocket or something.
Yeah, the
sort of pocket that you keep your change in, you know, like your pants pockets, and I guess Levi's ripped them off and made the fifth pocket. But I don't know. We thought it was bullshit, but then we Googled it, and it's true. He lives at the Y now, and he's tripping on acid, hanging out at Fitzy's.
Yeah,
which is kind of a dive bar.
He was a cool dude. He looked just like Dan Harmon.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was really weird.
He's tripping balls. But anyway, that was a fun story. I met the guy who invented the safety pocket.
Yep, revolutionary.
Yeah, man ahead of his time.
Yeah, put your change in there, a little dime bag, some goodies.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a hidden pocket.
I got a funny story. So I was walking to work from the parking lot around the corner, and there were 2 kids behind me. They must have been like 14 or 15, and I was vaping, and one of the kids was like, "Yo, how much you gonna sell that for?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm super addicted. It's not for sale." And then the kid was like, "Oh, you're going to die." And then his buddy was like, "You're going to die." And then I turned around and I said, "We're all going to die." And then I walked into my office building. So I've never said that to a couple of kids, but I'm going to start. That was fun.
Well, you got to let them know, you know. You
yeah.
Can't live forever.
No, you think you're invincible? You think you can talk to your elders like that? Well, guess what? We're all going to be dead in a short time.
So, hey, Dio, what was good in your feed?
Oh, top 3, feed me. So, and you let me start first.
Sure, do it.
That's really nice of you.
Do you want me to start first?
No, I'm going to start first. Wait, can I start second?
Yeah.
Okay, you go.
All right, so my number 1 was Invisibilia. It's a podcast that deals with the invisible forces that shape who we are. The hosts are Elise Spiegel and Hannah Rosen. This episode was called The Remote Control Brain. It's all about a woman named Megan who has a device implanted in her brain. It pumps electricity through her brain, and they have to find the right voltage because it'll basically cure her OCD, and it dramatically helps her depression. It pretty much turns her into a new person. And it took them a while to figure out what type of voltage that she needed because she went manic for a while. And it's a really interesting episode. You gotta really listen to it. I don't want to ruin the whole thing, but.
Definitely. I heard it. It was really insightful and crazy, and she had debilitating OCD. And
yeah, it was she couldn't she was hiding in her basement with depression and
yeah. And her boyfriend was also major depressive, and just the way that they came together and supported each other, I thought that was really cute. It was a cute love story.
Really good. Invisibilia, they really do it.
Yeah.
They do a good one.
It's always quality with them.
So you get yours together?
Yeah, I got it together. So the first one is Harmontown. Speaking of Dan Harmon's doppelganger.
All right.
Basically, it's because their guests were awesome. So Dan Harmon is a huge fan of the host of the podcast Red Handed, and I never heard of it. It's a true crime podcast. basically, like, they're really funny Brits, and they laid it out because I had always been talking about how women predominantly enjoy true crime podcasts. And I never even thought of the reason why. And they said that it's because women are most often the prey. And so it's like
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
thinking about murder more than men. Because if you're walking down the street alone, that's a possibility.
precisely, yes. And then you put yourself in that situation and you're like, what would I do, you know? Would I defend myself? And you try to learn from it and everything. Like, I know I could kick butt and get out alive, but yeah.
Oh, so you think women are into it because they're like researching it, like
Yeah,
they know
yeah.
what to do when it comes down to the crunch.
Yes, and actually one of them was really insightful. She said that if you do want to kill somebody, that the best way to do it is inject them with insulin, if they're not a diabetic, that is, because that will kill them instantly, but it's a natural substance in the body, so it couldn't be detected.
Oh man, they're giving you bad ideas, man. I'm getting scared. You shouldn't listen to this podcast.
Don't worry, I love you, and I always will.
Oh, one thing I was thinking about Harmon. You know how he looked like the other guy that invented the
Safety
safety
pocket?
pocket? Like,
Yeah,
so I remember
exactly the same.
in early Harmontown, Harmon invented a thing called the iHarmon. So, because he had a certain notes app on his phone that he couldn't get anymore, and so he ditched his phone and he created the iHarmon. So he hung it around his neck, and it's just like an upside down notepad with a pen in it, and you just write your ideas down on the thing. This is iHarmon.
iHarmon.
It's pretty funny, right?
I do like
It's
that.
his notes app. It's just a just a notebook on a string, like hanging over his like wearing it like a necklace. Is wicked funny.
I hope he
It's
got a
made me
patent.
think of that. You know, I hope he got a patent for it. Yeah.
And then Levi screwed him over.
Then he got fucked over by Levi's. They came out with the I Levi.
Hi, Levi.
The I Levi notes app. All right.
That was great.
Except all the pages are made out of denim. You had to write it on it with chalk. You had to bedazzle all your notes.
Dude, you took the joke right out of my mouth.
You had to bedazzle. Like a bedazzled notebook. All right, I'm sorry.
It's your turn, right?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, so my next one it's a show called Tales. Tales is part of the Parcast Network and Cutler Media production. It's hosted by Vanessa Richardson. They tell the darker versions of like classic fairy tales, you know, like Peter Pan or Cinderella and shit like that. And but this one, this story and this episode was like was kind of like a more obscure one. It's called The Juniper Tree. It's one of the darker tales by the Brothers Grimm. It's about a boy named Jacob. He faces off against his evil stepmother, but even with the help of a magical tree, it's not enough to defeat a cold-hearted killer. This story, it was like seriously like fucked up. It really like weirded me out. I don't want to give away too much because it was like pretty fucked up for the Brothers Grimm, you know. Like,
It was like without a moral or a point.
like, what's the whole point of it? It's like the Brothers Grimm just made like fucking horror porn.
Yeah, just to scare you.
It's like we're going from fairy tale to horror genre. We're going for gore.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Quentin Tarantino made it into a movie.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Or no, he
He should. It's
yeah,
pretty
he's
interesting.
doing it.
Be a fucked up fairy tale.
Yeah, it's in production.
But normally they're not that hardcore. I'm like,
Yeah, they're like, they have adult, this podcast has adult themes, and I'm like, this is not bad at all.
but this one was kind of rough.
All right, cool. I didn't listen yet. I'm gonna.
I like it. You'll like it. It's good.
Noise.
Well, you're used to that true crime, so you won't be as surprised.
Yo,
What?
speaking of true crime, that's my second one.
Oh, right.
The ladies of Red Handed were on Harmontown, so naturally I had to listen to Red Handed, and it's amazing. There are tons of true crime podcasts that are out there, but they have, you know, a nice, you know, Brit wit about them, and their point of view is really great. So on the particular episode that I listened to, I think it was the week before last. It's the Kirkland cult. So I never heard anything about this.
Kirkland. Where's Kirkland?
It's in Ohio.
Oh.
and it's actually a Mormon cult. So,
Oh, that tracks.
yeah, it's called the community. Yeah, exactly, the Community of Christ cult, which is an amalgamation of all typical cults, but with a Mormon flair.
The COC.
Oh yeah, COC.
Change of corrosion of conformity. That's right.
COC sounds like.
I actually saw that. I saw them live. They opened up for Motorhead, which was weird.
Okay.
But
Who is Corrosion of Conformity?
They're like a thrash metal band.
Oh, I should know that shit.
They're from like the fucking 80s.
Well, yeah, this was a thrash metal type of Mormon cult. So it had, typical stuff like paramilitary, defense, but hardcore sexual and physical abuse. Like, there was shit-covered dildos on the front porch.
Hell yeah.
And they killed an entire family. I don't know. I think I'm going to give a lot away. But whatever. The dude's name is Jeff Lundgren.
I kind of want to listen to this.
They did blood sacrifices. They murdered children.
Holy shit.
And it's really surprising that I've never heard of it before. So...
It's not that far away, Ohio.
Didn't you listen to a podcast that was all about cults?
Yeah, there's a podcast called Cults.
Oh, it's called Cults.
Yeah, it's like it's from Parcast, like Tales.
Oh,
There's
just
Cults.
like Tales. I wonder if they ever talked about this. Because it's sensational.
Maybe I didn't like that one as much. It's like they just kind of like touch on things. They just do like one episode. You need to do like a whole season on like Charles Manson. And
Yeah,
all that
definitely.
stuff. You really got to get into the cult, like the Ragnish thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say next.
Yeah, that whole Netflix thing. That was crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good one. Check out Red Handed. You're up.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yep.
All right, so my next one. Every time I Google Blow Jam, we come up, but this other podcast comes up. It's called Punch Up the Jam, which is I was like, maybe I'll give it a listen to. So Punch Up the Jam is it's a comedy podcast about reviewing and rewriting the hits. It's hosted by two comedians named Neil Bredau and Demi Adejuyigbe. Okay.
Good job.
That was rough. In this episode, they do Aha's 1984 pop hit "Take on Me." Take on me.
Take me on. Oh.
Gone a day or two. But
I'm sorry to all you guys out there.
But that's what they do. They take like a hit song, they really break it down, track by track, like they're like, oh, we'll drop down to just the bass, we'll drop it down to like just the vocals. And when they dropped down to like just the vocals, it was like the most hilarious thing ever because it's like, but he's actually like going boop boop boop. Boop, 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 boop. But the way he's doing it with like this reverb, it sounds like a
but he's like
and he sounds like a chicken clucking.
That does sound like a chicken clucking.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous without like the rest of the music. So they do that a lot. It's really funny. The bass line sounds like the boss level, like the final boss level of like some video game. It just sounds great. But yeah, I didn't know that the Aha is actually from they're from Norway, and there was an original version of the song that was like way more electronic, and it straight up sounded like video game music. It sounded like it should be like the opening screen for like Frogger or something, with him singing "Take on Me" over it, but it was super digital. So they were kind of ahead of their time. I actually like that one better, but it would track nowadays, but back then you had to make it like 80s. You had to 80s-fy everything,
Mm-hmm.
So they actually had the video. It was the first time. I think it was the first time they did rotoscoping.
What's rotoscoping?
Rotoscoping is where you film the video and then you trace over like the images and you kind of draw over them, change the colors and everything. So it looks like it's drawn, but it's actually like real people.
Oh, isn't that like single cell or single cell? What the fuck?
No, it's not cell shading. It's
cell shading.
No, it's
it's just drawing
it's
over.
Rotoscoping. Yeah, you draw over like the film.
Oh,
The
okay.
actual film.
Yeah, I mean that
Frame by frame. It takes a long time to do. And they were like, and it's an amazing video.
it is. It's classic.
But anyway, what they did is they took the song and they actually took out the vocals and put in their own. And instead of "Take on Me," they made it about Steve. So "Take on Steve," "Take Steve on." And it was really funny, I thought. So it's a funny show. They do this every week. I don't know how they do it because like it's so hard to like get a song down. But maybe it's because they're already like established songs. You know, it's not like they're writing a new song. So.
And they probably do it for a job.
Yeah, and
Yeah, they probably get paid for it.
they got all the gear.
Yeah, that's nice. Must be nice.
It's a really funny show. It made me laugh out loud, and I give it 2 thumbs up.
All right. Do you give it 1,000 airplanes?
1,000 airplanes. Oh yeah, what was that?
Our arbitrary rating system.
1,000 airplanes. 6 helicopters. And clown's nose.
Oh, that's nice.
And some hot dog water.
Okay. That's a lot. All right, my turn. Is that okay? Is it my turn yet?
Sure.
Thank you. On Red-Handed, and this is the weird thing, is I went down a rabbit hole from one podcast to the next. So Harmontown recommended Red-Handed, and when I was listening to Red-Handed, they recommended a podcast called The Dropout. And The Dropout is about this girl named Elizabeth Holmes, and she is the modern day grifter, probably the best grifter of all time, even ahead of Bernie Madoff. But she's been indicted because she raised billions of dollars for this company and they didn't have a product. It's like insane. And it's happening right now. I'm surprised I didn't hear about it. Like, what was the name of I didn't take notes because here's the deal. I was listening to it right up until now, and I'm gonna binge on it. It's that good. So she swindled a bunch of billionaires and Silicon Valley people, saying that she had a product where you could do blood tests with a prick of a finger, like at a drugstore or something.
I think I heard about that on a different podcast.
Yeah, Love It or Leave It. The guest there was talking about it.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, what was the name of the company?
She really like swindled everybody. Like
yeah.
Grifty McGrift.
Yeah.
I forget.
I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not being eloquent.
Way to phone it in.
Yo, that's how it goes. Like, Ryan, you have everything written out in your nice, neat handwriting, and I'm I'm doing it up until the last minute, and I don't finish.
Okay, well.
That's just our dynamic. That's what makes us a couple.
Did you finish the ads?
Yeah, I finished the ads. All right? I'm working hard on ads, yo. Well, you're working hard on Podsmash and being great and being a good husband. I'm doing ads.
Well, let's see it.
Dicking around.
Let me see these ads.
Okay, here you go. For you, the adventurous listeners of Blowjam, presents Podsmash. Hotels.com is offering $30 off select hotel stays of $250 or more when you go to usehotels.com/blow and enter code LISTEN30. So Ryan and I, we used to do Airbnb a lot, but if you can get a hotel room for the same amount, if not less, you gotta go for it. It's luxurious. Come on, guys. So, with Hotels.com, you can get rewarded basically everywhere. Hotels.com has all the options you're searching for in one place. And for every 10 nights you stay, you get one free that you can use at endless properties. The deals come with access to instant savings. Hotels.com. You do you and get rewarded. Free nights don't include taxes and fees. Instant savings available on select properties. Again, you can save $30 off select hotel stays of $250 or more when you go to usehotels.com/blow and enter code LISTEN30. I've never felt so blessed to have shitty eyesight, and that's because I'm wearing my Warby Parker glasses. And I've been on my best behavior too, really trying to be a decent person, because I don't want somebody to punch me in my face and mess up my Warby Parkers, yo. So, glasses should not cost as much as an iPhone. That's ridiculous. Warby Parker's prescription glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. All glasses include anti-reflective and anti-glare coating. That's important. That's what my doctor said. And that comes at no additional cost. All glasses include a hard case and cleaning cloth. There are no additional items that you need to purchase. You get it all. Do you need special lenses to see both near and far? No problem. They offer digital freeform progressive lenses, which start at $295. That sounds really fancy. And the number doesn't quite match up with that. It sounds pretty reasonable. So you buy it online, and they make it easy and risk-free. The Home Try-On program allows customers to order 5 pairs of glasses to be shipped directly to you, where you can try them on in the comfort of your own home and get feedback from your family and friends. You can keep the frames for 5 days and send them back using the prepaid returning shipping label with no obligation to purchase. I did this. That's how I found my glasses. It's badass. Loving it. So, how do you get your deal, yo? What you're going to do is go to warbyparkertrial.com/blow to get your free 5-day home try-on today. And we're back. And it's time for some podcast news. Ryan, will you tell us what's latest in the podcast universe and put on your best anchor voice?
No. Yeah, we might actually get back on iTunes. We put our RSS feed through an app called Anchor. It distributes the feed to all the platforms automatically once you get on Anchor. So fingers crossed, hopefully we'll get back on iTunes. We're currently reviewing it. But
yeah, we got a successful thing where it was like you're added. We always got error notices, so we made it to the next step.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't remember us and kick us back up.
It's funny. I emailed Dustin Marshall to be like, could you get blacklisted from Apple for having your logo called fuck iTunes?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I emailed him yesterday. We'll see what he says.
Yeah, so. And also there's wanted to talk about this new podcasting platform called Luminary. That a lot of the podcasts are going on to. It's kind of like a Himalaya, like the Himalaya app, only it's like not free. You got to pay like $7.99. I guess it's ad free. That might be good, but like, I don't know. I'd rather just have like free podcasts.
Yo, I totally misunderstood. I thought that the podcasters themselves had to pay $7.99 a month to be on it.
No, you have to pay $7.99
as a listener
to listen to it. So like people like Conan and Trevor Noah and like Guys We Fucked, they're all going over there and like
that's ridiculous.
Hannibal Buress. So you're gonna have to pay money to listen to their podcast.
They're treating it like a Netflix for podcasts, essentially.
But what I'm wondering is are they still gonna have free podcasts? Like out on the normal platforms, or are they just going exclusively on like Luminary? That's the only place you can listen to it.
That's a good question.
Or is it like when you listen to it on Luminary, it's ad free?
Yeah, sort of like Stitcher Premium or something like that.
So I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'm gonna keep my ears open.
You know, if they do away with the world of free podcasts, then we're always gonna make it free. That's fucked the fuck up.
I'd like to make some money off it, but.
Nah.
I'm not gonna make people pay.
No, I mean
donate,
we got day jobs and stuff. It sucks, but I love my day job.
Yeah,
but...
we got a donate thing if you want to donate to us.
Oh yeah, we do.
Because it costs a lot of money to make this thing.
Yeah, our website is down though,
really,
so never mind. You can't donate to us. Blowjam.rocks is down. I get a 404 error.
But you can through Anchor. It says donate to the podcast.
Oh, you can through Anchor?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Remember Anchor? I was just talking about
Yo, I forgot that they do donate stuff. But I think, do you have any more news? Because this would be a good segue into my next segment. Please don't. Please tell me you don't.
Breaking news.
Delia has a segment.
Delia has a segment.
We found out about Anchor from my new favorite podcast, Podcast Reviews Podcast, where the guy solely reviews the iTunes reviews that he gets for his podcast. And I did a lot of research. I wanted to find out more about him and more about the show. And I noticed where his platform is on Anchor. And also, a couple weeks ago, I had a top 3 feed hit for Not Sure Yet, which is the podcast where it's just like the description is it's lit. And he's like, how they make the world go round. Okay, bye. So they're both on Anchor. And then I'm like, wait a second, you can import your RSS feed into Anchor and then it'll put it out to all the platforms.
Yeah, it distributes it to everything.
So essentially, this dude who I'm like, we're obsessed with, Podcast Reviews Podcast, actually seems to be helping us in a way that I never thought possible.
I actually wrote him an epic review. Hopefully he says it on his podcast in 2 weeks.
Oh, that reminds me of podcast engagement.
Yeah, I wrote him like a crazy review. It was amazing. But I don't want to say it here.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
I want to wait till he reads it, and then we'll play the audio clip.
He's totally going to read it, too. He reads all of them.
It's huge.
He doesn't even have that many.
It's probably like the longest review anybody's ever left for a podcast that reviews itself.
You know what's really funny?
Reviews of itself.
He set up like a way to have his reviews emailed to him on a monthly basis. And I was listening to this podcast called The Podcast Whisperer, which goes into my next segment about podcasts that reviews podcasts. We're, still in that vein. And he was like, hey, you could just go on iTunes and read your reviews right there. Which is totally true. Like, hey, you don't have to wait a month.
You could just go to iTunes.
Yeah, you could just read them there.
He didn't think of that.
No. Or he did, and he's just being really subversive and funny.
He likes that format.
Yeah, he likes to come on and be like, all right, well, nothing yet.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's great. But also, let's talk the Podcast Whisperer, because Podcast Reviews Podcast was featured on that show, which is insane. Like, all this stuff is going on. It's so meta with reviewing and this, and that. So let me cut to the chase. David Allen, I want to say David Allen Greer, but it's just David Allen. He is the Podcast Whisperer. And at first I thought, basically, like, he reviews a podcast and gives them feedback and advice. And I thought it was unsolicited advice. And I'm like, that's kind of ballsy of you, but podcasters actually submit their podcast to him for him to review and give them feedback on his own show. And the guy has like 10 years experience of podcasting. There's like, I forget what his podcast is, but just type in David Allen and he'll pop up in your feed or in your search. So I heard some episodes where he gave feedback and it was sage advice. It was really good. The last one, he reviewed an anger management podcast, and he gave like a ton of good advice. So I recommend that, definitely. And he's a nice guy. He's got a good voice. It's well put together. It's a good show.
I think we should submit our podcast. Maybe.
I'm afraid.
I'm going to do it.
Really?
I'll submit him like a miscellaneous Brenda or something.
Oh, okay. An actual blowjam?
Yeah, something like crazy.
Okay.
Something that makes no sense.
Yeah. He'll be like, you need to change everything.
Well, we do these things every once a year, like miscellaneous Brenda. It's where I take all the leftover things and it doesn't make any sense and I just string them all together. It's kind of like mayhem.
It's great. We love miscellaneous Brenda.
It's like audio madness. But
yeah, we collect clips that are insane.
I'll send him one of those. See what he
says. Well, I was hoping to send him Podsmash or Blowjam Presents Podsmash.
Oh, you could, yeah.
Because then it would be extra meta.
I just think it'd be funny to have him rip apart like a miscellaneous Brenda.
Yeah, it would be funny. But I'm also scared because we've been at this game for over 3 years, and if he's like, you guys need a lot of work, then I would feel kind of crappy about myself.
I don't care. I think we go above and beyond what is required.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. We go for quality and quantity nowadays, so I'm happy. I'm loving it. Do you want to get to the next segment, which is podcasts that have Podsmash in the name?
Yeah, Podsmash podcasts.
Yes. So I thought that Podsmash was like totally original. Turns out it's not. There are like 4 other podcasts with Podsmash in the name. You want to kick it off?
Yeah, I reviewed this one. It's called the Dumb Smartz Podsmash. It's the musings of the world's most intelligent idiots. Stig of the Dump, some guy named Stig, I guess. Odyssean sideman Richie Nozzle. It's very British. It's kind of funny sometimes. You know, they talk about funny things. It's very stream of consciousness. Uh, I don't really get all the references because I'm not British. And it definitely has some poor audio quality. You could hear like a humming or like some layer of fuzz like cooked into the recording that is weird. Or maybe they're outside. I hear like crickets too. It's like it's too much going on. Like, are you guys outside around a fire or what's happening?
I overheard you listening, and I'm like, those are fake accents. But I guess they are British.
No, they are British, yes.
Wow.
But they're actually in Portugal or something.
Portugal. All right.
But I don't know why they're there. But
Well, it sounds dumb.
I kind of got bored after like 20 minutes. I just shut it off.
Wow, 20 minutes. All right.
So I'm gonna go. Not a good pod smash.
All right. Well, let's talk another pod smash that wasn't that good. So it's called 80-bit pod smash. And actually, I mean, the production is really good, and the guys have good banter. It's just, hey, if you're not into video games, then it's not for you. They got good theme music. As you know from Blowjam, we're all about 8-bit and 16-bit video game music.
They're doing 80-bit.
Well, that's just their theme song. They talk about modern stuff. The host names are Penguin and Termite, and they start out by drinking beer.
Is that their gamer names? Or?
Probably,
Penguin
yeah.
and
Penguin and Termite. This particular episode that I listened to, it was about gamers, or rather people who work in the video game industry unionizing. But what they do is they start out every episode saying what beer they're drinking. And this time they were drinking Blue Moon. And I'm like, that's not worth mentioning.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a shitty corporate beer that's kind of pretending to be craft beer. So I would not have disclosed that, guys.
It tastes all right. It's not bad.
It's okay.
You can have one or two. It's too citrusy, yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's not worth mentioning.
Yeah. It's not a special type of beer.
Yep. It's not Southern Tier Brewing Company.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're drinking.
Yeah, just like last time. We got to switch it up.
Well,
21st Amendment, it's really good.
It's kind of hard to get away from the Southern Tier when you're in the Southern Tier.
That is true. There is a lot of good stuff around here.
The shit is everywhere.
Us upstate New Yorkers know how to drink because there's not much else going on. Lots of alcoholism. It's good. And mountains and Irish people or Irish descent.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, 80-bit.
A lot of snow.
Lots of snow. Hey, it's almost April 1st. And it's snowing outside right now, and it's not April Fool's.
Yeah. Sometimes it's snowing up here on the mountain, and I go down like a block, and it's not snowing.
And it's like warm.
It's like 60 degrees.
Hey, speaking of April, I've dubbed April Men's History Month. We had Black History Month, Women's History Month. Now it's Men's History Month.
You should call it Men's Herstory Month.
Men's Herstory Month. Yes.
That's even better, yeah.
And then May will be like Dog's History Month.
Dog's Herstory.
Herstory. Okay.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a crazy tangent. You had another pod smash that you listened to.
Yeah, I listened to another one. This one's called Stevil's Podsmash. It's a musician. He's a musician. He interviews other musicians. It's hosted by Stevil, obviously.
Stevil the Boll Beevil? I don't know. I just made that up.
Oh, the one I listened to, he interviewed Steve Gaines from the band called Anger is Art. It was pretty good. They were like pretty heavy band. They got the one singer. He's like, wah! But
yeah, that's the only bad part.
like
Otherwise,
they're a crazy hardcore band. So I'm kind of digging this podcast. He leans towards the heavier side of music. It seems like it's good. It's simple. You just pretty much interviews someone and plays their fucking music. It's a nice podcast.
If you
I
like
understand
metal,
what's going on. It's got good audio. And it's pretty cool, and it's got some metal.
Brian and I are huge metal
dude.
enthusiasts.
I don't know if he does. Maybe he does all styles. I don't know, but
He seems pretty heavy.
the couple
but
I
yeah,
listened to were like heavier ones. So
that might be his thing. He looks pretty hardcore.
pretty cool.
So out of
Dig
the
it.
pod smashes, Stevil's is the winner.
Yep. Stevil, you win the Podsmash Award.
Yep.
We'll let you keep the name.
Yes, you can keep the name 80-bit and Dumb Smartz. You gotta reevaluate yourselves.
You gotta change your name. Dumb Smartz, Podsmash, That's for fighting. We will fight to the death.
We shall, and we shall emerge victorious.
I will fly over to Portugal. There's a guy and a girl, too, so you can fight the girl, and I'll fight the British guy.
No, it's gonna be the other way around.
I fight the girl?
Yeah, because it's fucking Men's History Month coming up, and it's all about equality. We're
Men's
all
History
relegated to 1 month a year. Everybody gets a month.
Okay, so I gotta fight the lady.
Yes, fight the lady. Can we talk podcast engagement real quick?
Sure.
So Ryan, he already said he left the review for Podcast Reviews podcast. I submitted a video for Theo Von State Wars, and I did not know how it worked. And Ryan came downstairs and was like, you don't know how it worked. So I called basically Theo Von. He's got a bracket, like a March Madness bracket, just about states going after states. The federal government, if everything goes down.
Talk about New York because you're from New York, but you got to see who they're going up
against. Who they're going. Yeah, and I never looked at.
You can't make up something.
I never looked up the bracket. So I didn't know who New York was going against. And I'm just like, New York this, New York that. I think, you know, if we're warring, the only state that could stack up against us is Alaska. And it's like, we probably weren't even going against Alaska.
Nah.
I just did not know what I was talking about. So I sent that. I sent a video where I had no clue what I was talking about, didn't even know how it worked.
Well, it's okay. You could do it again because just look up the bracket, and he does it every week, so it should be on a Friday. He's going to drop it.
Okay, I will try
he
it.
Records it like on a Thursday, so like try it again and like look up what they're actually going against because New York's still in the running.
Oh, they are. Okay.
So you still have a chance.
Yeah. Oh, what was another one? Oh, Radiolab. Okay. So I read the credits for Radiolab, and they didn't pick me. They picked a child, which was a blow to my ego. Also, we did the theme song. We did the Plugs theme for Comedy Bang Bang. They did not pick us. They picked like a hardcore noise band thing, which I actually really liked.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was really good. It was a good like 15 seconds.
Pretty much like ours.
No, it's not at all like ours. It sounds like a band that I would listen to.
Ours is a little better.
Yeah, it was. I'm partial, but
yeah, we're okay.
So that's it for podcast.
We pretty much ended it with "Sunshine of Your Love."
Yeah, we called it. No, we called it "Sunshine of Your Plugs."
Come on, why don't you pick that, man? Like, who ends a song with "Sunshine of Your Love"? That's great, dude.
Cream. That's about it.
No, we ended it with the beginning of that song. You don't know.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting into semantics.
All right, whatever.
I think
you got nays.
Do I have nays? Yeah, it would be 80-bit Podsmash, just because out of the shit that I listened to this week, not to say it's bad, it's just not my cup of tea. How about yours?
I'm going to say Dumb Smartz Podsmash, go away. Comedy Bang Bang. It's a comedy sketch improv podcast with Scott Ackerman. I didn't like his musical guest. It was Dan Mangan. He played like 3 songs like throughout like the podcast, and it really like because they start getting momentum and it's really bum everything out. Like it's like really acoustic and like emo. I don't think it really fits, so I'm gonna give that an A. Maybe you should, I don't know. You should stick to the comedy. Leave the music to us.
Precisely. Yeah,
Come on,
I don't know.
Scotty. Come on, Scotty. Maybe you play my fucking Plugs theme. I wouldn't put you in an A. Whatever, man. Pick my Plugs theme. Fuck 'em.
I just want you listeners to know out there that we do all the music for Blowjam and Podsmash. We do all the music for everything in our lives.
It's hard.
You could check out our SoundCloud. It's
hard.
Blowjam. It is very hard, but it's fun. Check out our SoundCloud. As a matter of fact, we're going to start playing some live shows starting in June, and our album is coming out this summer. We're recording actually in like 2 weeks, so that'll be fun. Yeah, our band is a big deal. We love our band. Joey and Jackie, friends and family. Now it's time for voicemails. Shout outs. Fuck. I always forget the segments.
It's right here.
I almost got through the whole thing. I almost got through the whole thing without mistakes.
I straight up have everything written out.
I'm not
Look at
looking.
this.
That's your notes, man.
Just look.
My notes are in my brain. What's your special shout
Too
out?
bad your brain's broken.
Yeah, it is. Okay, it's because I've been married to you for 9 years. So what's
God.
your shout out?
My shout out's Radiolab. It's with Jad Abumrad and Robert Krowich. It's a radio show and a podcast that weave stories and science into sound and music-rich documentaries. This episode was called For Whom the Cowbell Tolls. When Nancy Holton was 8 years old, her and her mom moved to Switzerland. Nancy ended up being big into animal rights, crystals, and other types of holistic healing. She's also a viral sensation. She's originally like a Dutch woman, and apparently she was so annoying that the Swiss town that she was living in denied her citizenship. She was trying to like ban like cowbells because they're too loud for the cows, and like, trying to start a whole like barefoot walking like revolution. And
What bothered
she was
me
real
is
crunchy,
that
like hippie.
she moved right next door to a church and then wrote a formal complaint to
About
the
cowbells,
city.
yeah.
No,
Oh,
about
the
the church bells.
bells.
Yeah. She just has a thing for bells.
And then they're like, "What other bells don't you like?" And she's like, "Cowbells." And it's like they're kind of like
Yeah, they need those church bells.
the cowbells are like the thing in Switzerland.
Yeah,
all
it's
the cows
like
have 'em.
why would you go there and move right next to a church and then be like, I want to sleep in, and then be like the cowbells is traumatizing them.
Yeah, if you don't like these things, you gotta leave Switzerland.
It's not the place for you.
It's like weird. I want cowbell reform. Church bells, they're too loud.
I was not on her side by any means.
Yeah, this is funny. It's a good one to check out.
It's interesting, yeah.
It's gonna be like a part 2, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean the end. It's cool to see how it pans out for
Yeah,
sure.
it's fun.
My special shout out is Bunny Ears. They had, Macaulay Culkin, Mac, I should say, had Jerry O'Connell on, and they were eating sliders. Like, they got him sliders because he was in the TV show Sliders.
Yeah, there's a show. Wasn't it like 80s and 90s? Oh, it was 90s.
It was 90s, yeah.
90s show called Sliders where they like kind of slide into like different dimensions. It's kind of like sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap, only different dimensions, and they're trying to get back home.
And 90s.
And 90s.
Yeah.
So
So
cheesy.
it was great, though. Like, Jerry O'Connell's really funny. Some of you might know him as the fat boy from Stand By Me.
Fat kid from Stanley.
Or Rebecca Romaine Stamos' husband, but not Stamos. Let's cut off the Stamos part and slap an O'Connell on the end.
Rebecca Romaine O'Connell. No, but that's just genius to eat sliders with the guy from Sliders.
That only Macaulay Culkin would do that.
Ah, genius.
Really, he is genius.
That's so funny.
I keep saying it, like, for my podcast engagement, I gotta call his number and leave a message.
Yeah, tell him to suck some dicks.
Yeah.
I actually like that though.
Yeah, I can be more original than that.
Well, that's
So.
what they like.
Okay. All right. Any more shout outs or anything? So it's time for voicemails. I just want to address last week's voicemails. Ryan is doing a phallic situation with his mic. Last week, our friend Erin Walker left a message. She was the first cat message. Cat got your car. I don't know what was going on, but I liked it. And then it was really weird because my sister called. And she was the one who was like, me and Precious don't like the way you've been progressing. Meow. So, like, these two people who don't know each other, who are separated by miles, both had the idea to call and leave voicemails about cats. So this week, we got a voicemail for you. And follow us on Instagram and the Twitter and the Facebook. And call the Blowjam Headquarters tip line, which is 607-296-7297. Anything else that you want to say, Ryan? Any more whoring out we should do?
Nah, good.
Okay, I did a good job. Yeah, just Google Blowjam. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
You have one old message. Thursday, 8:36 p.m.
Hi, I'm Summer, and my mom just let me home alone. I'm thinking lots of stuff, and I ate all the snacks. We're having a house party. I am having really fun, and I never stayed home alone. So yeah. If you want to know we're making cookies, we're making cookies, but can I order a happy pizza, please? Thank you. I really like one. I think I like happy pizza. Yeah. Oh, this is good. I have no idea what it is. So, yeah. I really think I am old enough to stay at home alone. I think it's going to be very funny. But, yeah. I didn't touch that. And I'm watching the whole house. So, yeah. I think that's really
End of messages.